Hi guys and welcome to the highlights of the season opener of the 1993 Super Touring Sim Racing season. A quite exciting season lies ahead because we've got so many changes now in terms of rules, in terms of drivers and in terms of teams. We've got some new teams here, but we're going to have a look into it at some point. And of course the driver lineups have changed a lot, and there will be some exciting driver lineups ahead. But at first, let's go to have a look into the rules. Because now there are two important changes. At first, the point for the fastest lap gets removed because it was largely one driver who took the points, so literally makes no sense. But the most important thing will be qualifying. We've now only got one lap to put in the fastest lap time possible, and this will make the qualifying now a lot more important and very interesting indeed, because one mistake and you could be starting from last position. And you don't really want to do this. But at first, now let's go to have a look into the driver lineups. And of course, we start with the first team, and this will be the new team, and it will be the team Mondeo. So Andy Rouse got the chance to bring two Fords now into the series. And we've got the dream lineup of Lorenzo Turri, the 1992 champion, and Roy Cobb, the 1991 champion. Cobb looks for revenge, and he might take the championship, so he's looking quite fast, but don't underestimate Turri. He was the class of the field last year. He's dominated the field in his Vauxhall. But Vauxhall got a new lineup, and Turri left, because I think he wasn't really happy with the car, and so he went to Ford, and yeah, we'll see how these two are faring, because they both want to be number one drivers, I think, because of course they are both champions of the series. So let's go to have a closer look into their relationship in the upcoming races. The next team will be Nissan with the independent champion of the last 2 years, Mike Bell, taking the seat from Patrick Babiche, and he will be partnering up David Osborne, who's going into the third season with Nissan. But it looked like he would leave the team for Peugeot, but in the last minute he get back to the Nissan seat. So let's have a look into their partnership as well then in the upcoming races. It looks like an interesting one, and yeah, they look like a serious threat for the manufacturer championship if the driver lineup of Ford doesn't really work well, because they are looking to be very consistent over the past races, and let's have a look into their consistency at this season. Another new car for the series will be the Renault 19 from the Renault dealer team, with the drivers Michael Sneef and Johannes Melis. Both had a solid season last year, but Sneef dropped off a bit at the last season. He looks to improve a bit on this case, but Johannes had a solid season in his Vauxhall Cavalier, taking 2 wins and several podium finishes. He looks to improve even further and maybe challenge for the title, but let's hope that the Renault will be competitive at the early stages of this season. Next will be the Toyota team, who had a, not really positive last season. Okay, Roy took 7 wins for them, but I think they would have appreciated it a bit more. But now they got a new lineup of Chris Simpton, who was at Vauxhall last year, and Michael Hammer, a newcomer to the series. Sadly, he won't race at the first race, but hopefully we'll see him in the future. And what can we expect from them? Let's think about that. Chris had a solid season, and he looks to improve on the 7th place. It was a solid season, but he had no chance against Lorenzo. But now he will be the team leader, and he expects hopefully to win a couple of races and maybe be a threat for the top 5. Now it's about time to talk about the manufacturer champions from last year. Vauxhall, they've got a new lineup of Josh Jones coming from BMW and Matt Hull, who is returning to the series after some appearances in the 1991 season. He returns to the same team, and what can we expect from them? This will be quite interesting because Josh has driven the past 2 years with a rear-wheel drive car, so he will need to get used to this kind of start of driving. And Matt, I think he wants to have a solid return. And let's hope for them that they are having a good season ahead. The Rockstar didn't look that well in the tests, but maybe they can surprise us in the future. But let's wait, I would say. Now let's talk about Peugeot. They had a torrid time last year with many roads and many accidents, but they had some high points in that season. But they've replaced Pecca with Wesley Brooke, another rookie, and let's see what he can do with that Peugeot. They've kept Todaro, who hopefully returns in the future because he will miss round 1 as well, so let's hope he would return soon. Would be great to see 2 bricks in the field again, to maybe spice up the field again. So we wait and see how the Peugeots are faring this year. Last year's independent winners Park Lane got a works deal with Toyota to win 2 Toyota Coronas, but sadly they've only found one driver driving the junior car, and it's Alan Kopich, who is returning to the series after his one appearance in 1991. I think it was Donington when he appeared, but sadly since then he never appeared again. I think he only appeared once or twice in the Vento Cup last year, but sadly no more appearances. Sadly he will miss round 1 as well, so let's hope that he will return sooner than later into the series, because it makes a bit of fun when there are all drivers in the field, because 14 drivers have registered for this year, so might be a bit of an interesting field. But what can we expect from him? I mean, we haven't seen much of him, so I would say we'll wait and see what he can do with that Carina. And finally, let's look at Team Dynamics. They've bought all the assets from Weekly Motorsport, but sadly they've only found out one driver, with Pekka Litalo driving the only BMW this season. But maybe there will be more, because the season is going on, and maybe there will be some more drivers in the future of this series. Yeah, he finished 8th in 1992 overall. He had many roles and many incidents in the past year. He became one of our favorite people in the league, so maybe he can improve on his rolling rate and maybe start drifting a lot, because the BMW is sadly one of the worst cars of the field in terms of drivability. But maybe Pekka can surprise us in the future with some solid results in the future, but we wait and see. Now that we go through all the teams and drivers, now let's look into the qualifying results of the first round of the season. As expected, Lorenzo Turri took the pole position with an impressive 1:24.291, 1.2 seconds ahead of the second place driver, and it was Johannes Melis in the Renault, solid debut by the team, ahead of Mike Bell in the Nissan, then Chris Simpson in the Team Securico Toyota in 4th. Then we have David Osborne in the Nissan in P5, only 1/10 or nearly a tenth ahead of Michael Sneef in his second Renault, so it was a good showing by the French marque. They've beat Peugeot comfortably, and yeah, that's quite impressive, I would say, for a newcomer. And now we look into the second half of the grid. We have Josh Jones in 7th in his Vauxhall, 2.7 seconds behind the leader, so the Vauxhalls have dropped off massively. Then we have Roy Cobb in 8th, after a massive mistake in corner number 3, when he went a bit wide and hit the grass, and this costed his lap dearly. Maybe it could have been Ford 1-2, but it wasn't to be. Matt Howell finishes in P9, then we have Wesley Brooke in Peugeot on P10, and then on the last of the grid we have Pekka, who had a massive gap, maybe had some huge mistakes in his lap, but this is the starting grid for the first round of the season, and of course for race 1 of the season. But now it's time to start the season. The lights are out and we are looking down to the highlights of the first race. Unfortunately, there were some technical problems here. There's some cars missing at the beginning, but these cars will of course appear at the later stage of the race. I don't know what the problem is, but anyway, Turri had a good start. He took the lead immediately, And Johannes had to fight against Mike Bell at the beginning, because, yeah, Mike had a good start as well. And now we go into the third corner, or fourth corner, I'm sorry. Oh, Midas went wide, and Bell is going through. Now Midas needs to watch out from Simpton, but I think he defended pretty well against Chris, and he keeps the third position. Now let's have a look into Matt Hull's start. You can see World Cup was missing, for example, so we don't know what happened to him in the start. Hull had a good start, he passed his teammates straight away. But that's the disadvantage you have when you start for the first time with a front wheel drive car after being used to a rear wheel drive car. Now we have a look into David Osborne's view. Oh, there's Neve going wide, he hit the grass, so yeah, that wasn't good for Michael. He needs to recover from that. And there we have the Peugeot of Wesley Brook. He's attacking at the walk, sort of, I think it is Matt Hull, who had a good start, and he's through. It seems, it is, yeah, they're going side by side now, and now approach the first corner, but I think now Wesley is through. Yes he is, and it seems like Matt is lagging badly, so, yeah, that's not a good sign, but, of course it's an old game, and, it can happen, that your internet isn't the best at one day. And then we have Roykop, and he's at the back of the field. What happened to him? We don't know, but we see some damage on his car, so you can only assume that there was an incident involving Roy, and that's not something you want to see from another competitor, and it's really unfortunate. He is one of the title favorites, and he's off to a bad start already. And they have a three-way fight for, I think it is 8th or 7th, and there's Jones going off. Oh dear. He had so much luck not hitting Matt. Oh dear, this could have been a disaster. And down the back we see Packer in his BMW. As I've said earlier, the only BMW in this field so far. And there we have Simpton attacking Melis potentially. He hadn't got the best exit here. He's going for it. And he takes the position. He's currently third. No, he's losing it. He went wide, hit the curb. And he's losing the position, and I think he lost the position to, he lost the position to Osborne. Oh dear, that wasn't good from Chris. He did the same thing Roy did in qualifying, and this costs you a lot of time. So this is one of the zones you need to be very, very cautious. And then we have Packer. Ooh, he's lost it, and he hit the wall. Oh dear, and that's what I mean by not really controllable. The BMW is really twitchy, and Packer is the victim of this here. And yeah, he's falling back to last position, and can he recover from it and potentially overtake someone? Would be difficult, but it's not impossible, as we see Osborne going wide. Oh dear. This isn't really good, and yeah, he had to let Simpton by, but Sneef couldn't profit from it. So now we look into the Vauxhall of Hull, I believe, and he gets passed by Brooke, and it was a successful move by the Peugeot. So the former manufacturer champions are struggling here, and they even touch! Oh dear! We've talked about Jones nearly hitting his teammate, now Matt did it. Oh dear, this will be a disaster after the race. Cobb goes by, but these two will have a chat afterwards. This is, wow, this is incredible. And this is not something you want to see as a team manager. And here we see Osborne going wide again. So it isn't his race, I believe, and there goes, can Sneef now finally profit from it? Yes, he does. He goes past, and Osborne dropped back to, I think, 6th position. And there you see Cobb again, being chased by one of the Vauxhalls. Oh, he got hit by one of the Vauxhalls, and I think it is Josh Jones. Behave, please. Please not Banderino, as Jimmer would say. So, yeah, let's have a look back at the fight between Osborne and Sneef. They are having a nice battle there for 5th position. Not a bad race for the Renaults as well. Melis is still in 3rd, and Sneef has a good race as well. And this is a good sign, I believe, for the rest of the year if they have a successful debut like this. Now we see Osborne attacking Sneef. He's now on the right of him, and is he going to get by? He has a better line, I believe. Oh, this is going to be really close. No, he sent Sneef wide. He's going to the drift, but he saves it. Wow, what a race there between these two. A lot of respect to them. And wow, this is cool to see these two having such a big fight. And now let's hope there will be no incident, because if there is such a battle, it sometimes ends in a big shunt and a big disaster between these two. Let's hope for the better one and for a happy end. Look at the pressure of Wesley going there behind. He has a really good race so far in his debut. Oh, Osborne going wide. There's Sneef. He has a chance of getting by. They're now side by side going to Brooklands. It seems that Osborne can defend from Sneef. Wow, what a fight. I mean, these two won't give up, I believe, and this is something we want to see from a season opener. There we see these two again, the same corner eventually. Now Sneef again. This time he has a better chance. He's now ahead. And does he manage to get by? It looks like it. Yes, he does. Sorry for that one. Red Bull gives you wings, I suppose. Yeah, but that was not good, so sorry for that. And yeah, now Sneef went by Osborne, but now we're back into the leader. Yeah, we see the leader again here, Lorenzo Turri, lapping Pekka. So not a good season opener for him, but I think he will improve from that. He had many mistakes, getting used to the rear wheel drive, and I think ahead is one of the walk swords. Might be Matt, and Turri is now finishing the race. He's taking the final kink here, and he's going to take the first win of the season, as expected by Lorenzo. Really well done, and he takes the first win of this season. Business as usual for him. Mike Bell now coming across the line to take second in his Nissan debut. His first time in the manufacturer car, and he's taking second position. Johannes finishing third, not bad for the Renault, and not bad for the Renault crew as well. Then we have Simpson finishing fourth, but here, this is the interesting part. Sneef having to defend from Osborne and Brook now. He's catching up, because these two are having the biggest fight in history, and Sneef is finishing now in P5. Good race by Michael. And this is the race result now. The top 6 is now showing up. So Turri, Bell, Millis, Simpson, Sneef and Osborne. Really good races by them. And especially by Sneef and Osborne. Really good job here. Nice battle for the fans. And now we look into the second half of the table. Brook finishes 7th. A solid debut in the Peugeot. Cobb finishes only in 8th. Yeah, with his damage, I think nothing more was possible. Then we have Jones and Hull. And in last, we have the BMW of Pekka, Litalo. Yeah, the best independent, I would say. So he takes the first independent win as well, but with no big fights for it, because there's no other one. Just like last season, so hopefully we get some more independents. And now we look into race number 2. Remember, this will be reverse grid from race 1, so Pekka will start from pole, and we see how it fares. So now we go into race 2, and apologies for missing cars again. There's Pekka missing, but he will appear soon, but not now. As the lights go out, and the race is underway, and who's going to have the best start? It looks like Josh has the best start. Roy Cobb goes by as well. So Matt has dropped a lot of places right now. There goes Sneef in the Renault. And does it go by as well? It looks like it, because yep, Sneef goes by. He has the better line. So really good start by the current top 3. But a bad start for Matt Hole. I don't know where Pekka finished after lap 1, so I have no clue really. And here we have the view of Lorenzo Turri, the winner of race number 1. And he had a good start. Look at it, he just sneaked his way through. Okay, he backed off here because it was a bit risky. Oh, here we can also see Mike going through again, so Mike is risking a bit more. Johannes going wide again, so he seems to hate that corner in first lap. And he dropped another kind of positions, and he's having to fight again against Chris. So a repeat of race number 1, it seems. So he's dropped again a lot of positions, but now we look into Turri again, and he goes by David Osborne, and he sneaked his way through from last. So good job here by Lorenzo, and yeah. Again, Osborne fight back. It doesn't look like it, but he goes down the inside. Oh, he bumps into Lorenzo. Oh, dearie me. That's unfortunate, but sometimes it happens during touring car racing. I think David has, has outbroken himself and just bumped into him. It was intentional, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of penalty. There we have a nearly free ride situation with, I think it's Hole, Bell, and Melis going now side by side into the first corner. This is going to work well, guys. So, wow, this is really well behaved here. So, really fair play to everyone here in this weekend, because they are behaving really well so far. Except for 1-2 situations, but these situations are happening. Simpson is going for a dive against Matt, and he failed. Yeah, unfortunate, but he was risking it. And there we have Roy Cobb going for a lead. He is the quicker guy. He has not a fixed car, and not here, but yes here, because Josh went wide. And that gives Cobb the opportunity to take the lead. And now he has a chance to win his second race for Team Mondeo. Oh dear. So this car looks really, really good. And of course Roy had the golden opportunity to start right at the front of, obviously because of his poor race 1. There we have one of the walk swords dropping back some positions. I think it is Matt Hole again. So you will see a lot of him. There we have Simpson. This must be, I don't know, it is Osborne. So he passed 2 people here. Really nice move by David Osborne. He's now right into P. I have no idea. So this is the big minus here in this kind of format. You couldn't see in which position he is, except when I enable the timestamps, but I don't really want to do this. And there we have Simpson fighting back against Osborne. Now he has the chance, and he goes by. Really good move by Simpson. He did a really good job, and now he needs to keep the position. Ooh, that was really close. That was really close from Osborne. He nearly bumped into Simpson, but luckily everything went fine. So really good battling here already. There we have Mike Bell again fighting against the Renault. Is it Sneef or is it Melis? It looks like it is Sneef. And he goes by. And now he has only 2 cars left. And the one is Josh Jones, and the other one would be Roy Cobb, but he's going into the distance, so it might be hard to catch up. And there we have Bell going down the inside, and he goes by. And now only 1 driver left for Mike, but Sneef now needs to get by Josh. He's defending well, so he's doing a bad job or something. He's doing a solid job here in his first outing in the Vauxhall Cavalier. You have to remember the Vauxhall isn't the quickest car this year, and the front there's some nice ping pong. Whilst I think Turri passed the car. And there we have Sneef trying it against Jones. Sneef went wide, so Sneef is out. And there we have Janis Melis. We are on board with him. He's the only driver who has a in-car view, because it's my replay, so you've got my on board. And now we go for the dive bomb here. Is it going to work out? Yes, it does. So we've taken Jones' position, and now we are up into third. And now we have Turri again on the charge. He's passing the Renault of Sneef. And he goes for it, and it looks good. Really fair and really clean. And in the meantime, he also passed Jones. Now he is into the battle with Johannes Melis in his Renault. He's doing a good job with that car. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be a good weekend for the team on its first outing with the car. But look at the speed of the Mondeo. So it really is a dream team. Turri, the current champion, is doing a really good job. He has the best pace of the weekend so far. And I think now he's looking for opportunity to pass Johannes now on the straights potentially. He's going for the inside. And now I think Turri is going to be passing him. There's no way they're going to do a too wide in here because it's too risky. And they potentially end up in a crash if so. So there we have Josh Jones. He's currently in 6th. I've just seen because I've made a cutting error. But anyway. He's currently in 5 with Sneef. Ooh, some bumping I think. And Josh is going wide. No, he's losing everything. Oh, this is unfortunate. This is really unfortunate for Josh. He had a really good race so far. Even though he wasn't the quickest. But he defended really well against the others. So really unfortunate for him. There we have David Osborne now defending from Sneef again. So these two are having some fun. And there we have Roy Cobb. He was dominating the race after he took the lead from Jones earlier in the race. And he crosses the line and he takes his first win of the season. But Ford's second win of the season. So Ford is having a really good weekend so far. Mike is having a consistent weekend so far with 2 second place finishes. Turri finishes in 3rd. Dev made this again in 4th. Simpton finishes in 5th. And there we have David Osborne finishing in 6th. Ahead of Sneef this time. So really good job at David. And there we have the race results again. So Cobb, Bell, Turri, Melis, Simpton and Osborne in the top 6 in the first half of the page. Really good races by them and really good race by the Mondeo guys. So really good job by them. There we have Sneef, Jones, Brooke, Litalo, and the only DNF so far, Matt Hole, who had an engine failure early in the race, so unfortunate for him. Now let's look at race 3. So one final race for this video, and unfortunately there are some more missing cars. Sneef has just appeared and the lights are off now and we go. Yeah, that's unfortunate to see. There are so many missing cars from my point of view. So if anyone knows the solution to this, please post it down below in the comments. I would appreciate it. But as it stands now, Osborne is taking the lead, but I'm not sure if he really was leading. So a big question mark on this one. Now we go on board with Mike Bell. He's behind Melis. Oh, he made a bit of a mistake, and Mike is now alongside him. He has the chance of going by, and he's taking it. Really good job by Mike, but Johannes isn't giving up. But there's Osborne. No, Osborne has lost it. Oh dear, this is unfortunate. And Mike is now on the outside. There's some bumping. Is Mike eventually going to get through? There's Pekka now. He might be blocking, but then I go 3 wide down to bridge. Wow, look at that. Wow, what a fight there between Bell and Melis. They were eventually fighting against Pekka for a short time as well. So they had Pekka in his BMW again. If you were searching for him, they found him. And they have Osborne. He just went to the grass. So whatever happened to him, we never know. And if he said it, I forgot it. So yeah. Anyway, now he is in a fight with Roy. So and Roy goes by. So David has decided to let him by pretty easily. Look at the gaps already. So there must have been a bit of a collision back then, but there were no clips from it. So we are looking back now to the front, and there we have Johannes Melis in the fight between him and a Ford. Is it Turri or Cobb? We have no idea. Was hard to look at it, and there we have it is Turri, and he slips He slips a bit and he's lost it. Look, the driver's going really aggressively through the curbs, so yeah, I think the curbs were the most loved ones from, at least from my point of view. And they have Cop going wide, and he's hit the, yeah, he's going really wide there. He's lost some momentum, and he's lost one position at least. He would have overtaken Pekka, but now he stays there. He nearly lost the position to Sneef, so really lucky here for him. And there we have Wesley Brook going wide, and he lost some momentum here, and he's dropped a lot of places now, and yeah, he's now a bit further back. He's now being chased by Ford of Turri, must be. And yeah, anyway, now let's have a look into Johannes Melis fighting against the Vauxhall. Remember, he drove the Equi Ecosse Vauxhall last year, but none of them are here. None of them have a driver yet. So Equi Ecosse are searching for a driver. If you want to participate in the league, so then please write a comment below, and you will get a link to the Discord server. Or I could just post it in the description below. So if you want to join, you know what to do. And Jones now it's under pressure, and he has to let him by. Really easy move there by Johannes. Yeah, there was a Peugeot going for a spin. We have a look into it later, I think. And now we see Turri fighting against Jones. Oh, the Vauxhall's blocking. The Vauxhall doesn't give up so easily, even if he isn't the quickest car. Now we have Turri chasing it. Oh, they're going for a bit of a fight. Is Turri going to attack him now, or is he waiting for a perfect opportunity? He might be attacking now. Yeah, Josh gets the corner okay, I think, but Turri has the better exit. And is he going to attack him now? No, he doesn't. Really well done by Josh by fending him off, and he's outbroke himself again. So not really good by Josh. And now we see the onboard of Lorenzo. Is he going for a dive here, or is he just waiting for another mistake here by Josh? No, they've touched. It looks like Josh, rolled. Unbelievable. He sent Josh into a roll, but I don't think it was intentional. Oh dear. Unbelievable luck here by the Vauxhall guys. Now we look into what happened to Wesley. Oh, that's the weirdest spin I've ever seen. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to insult drivers, but this looks really weird, to be honest. But anyway, they have Sneef going wide here. He's getting passed by Osborne. Really nice move there by David, but Sneef has just outbroke himself completely. And now we have Johannes here. He has a solid race so far, but now he's doing the same what Simpson did, but he couldn't save the car. He spun. Oh no, this will cost him a lot of positions. I think now it only cost him 2 against both Fords. This is unbelievable. He's lost it. And he's bottled it. That's an unbelievable luck here by a young German. He's turning 18 this year, but anyway, we just look into Pekka fighting. There we have Pekka again, the independent driver, the sole independent driver of this year. But wow, he is actually fighting now against cars. This is so good to see. There you see the problems of BMW. It's really, really slippery, so you need to be really, really soft on the car. But it's quite hard to do it eventually. Here with this kind of driving style, he's used to front-wheel drive cars, so maybe he'll get used to it pretty soon and maybe attack a bit further up. It would be great to see Finland being represented pretty well, and we believe in him. And of course, he's the sole BMW, so we hope that the BMW is getting fixed eventually, and that the BMW is now a bit more drivable, unlike the current version of the car. Now we go into an onboard of Johannes Melis again. Oh, he's taking the wrong line here. Yep. He's went wide again. oh my goodness me, he's struggling so much into this corner. This is quite unbelievable here, what this young guy is doing. So, not really good by him. And this has costed Renault some points and himself some points. And there we have Simpson versus Bell. Simpson was leading the whole time. Now this is the chance for Mike to go by, and he does. Mike Bell is taking the lead, and now it's the big question if he can hold the lead or if he will bottle it again. Possibly. There's an opportunity, you don't have to dismiss it. There's always the opportunity that he will bottle it sooner or later. And there we see the BMW again fighting against the Peugeot of Wesley Brook. Oh, this is... yeah, you can't get by the BMW so easily, Wes. So, you need to be a bit more aggressive. I mean, Peck has the advantage that he drove the brick 1 year earlier. So he has the experience of defending, I would say. Now we see the two Fords fighting against each other. This is the big talking point. Who's the number 1 driver? Andy Rouse needs to decide pretty quickly if he wants to win the Manufacturer Championship. But of course, both of them want to win the championship. That's the issue. But the Manufacturer Championship is also important. I mean, if they are constantly arguing each other, to be honest, then it isn't looking good. But so far, it's alright. But there's always the opportunity of some chaos. Oh, Cobb went wide. Maybe they've touched already. There you see, they are touching. I think Andy Rouse's heart rate was going up by a lot. Even through here, they are bumping a lot already. And this is only race weekend number 1. Can you imagine in the future when they're both fighting for a championship, when they are in the last race? Oh dear, this is going to be a disaster. But hopefully not. I think the drivers are disciplined enough to drive fairly and cleanly, of course. So I think there will be no Pantorino between these guys. And here we see another fighting of the Fords. We're going on board with Turri, and might be a chance. No, it isn't, because Cobb is braking pretty late, and this is the chance for Lorenzo to go by. But Roy is defending like madness, and he's kept the position, so he's staying ahead. But of course, there are some corners left. I think it wasn't even the last lap, so yeah, Lorenzo had the opportunity to pass him, but he didn't. Mike Bell's taking the checkered flag, and he wins his first race as a manufacturer driver. Well done to him, and he's taking the championship lead with it. Simpson finishes second. Then we have the two Fords, Cobb ahead of Turri, and then we have the disappointing Johannes Melis in this race. Yeah, 2 mistakes have costed him dearly. And then we have Sneef finishing 6th. It fits to his name, not to his name, to his driver number pretty well. So, yeah, quiet race from Michael. Not the big fight here between him and Osborne. There we have the results. But 1 race ahead of Simpson, Cobb, Turri, Melis, and Sneef. Yeah, really good race by Mike for his first time as a manufacturer driver. So, really good job by him. Then we look at the second half of the table. Osborne finishes 7th. Then we have Jones, Brook, Litalo, and Hull. Had another DNF, so another disappointing race from him. And yeah, this is not really looking good for Vauxhall. Then we have the Drivers' Championship. Mike Bell is taking the lead. They have Turri, Cobb, Simpson, and Melis. And then we have the rest of Sneef, Osborne, Brook, Jones, and Litalo. Yeah. Then we look at the Manufacturer Team Championship. Mondeo is ahead. So, yeah, Rouse is ahead of Nissan, Renault, Toyota, Vauxhall, and Peugeot. Yeah, as expected, Peugeots are last. So this is it, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see us soon for the second race weekend coming up at Donington. And this will be a long race here with the Format B, so stay tuned, and hopefully we'll see us.